4 farmers killed in fresh attack in Borno. Many injured as fully loaded BRT bus tumbles in Lagos. President Tinubu swears in Kekereekun as acting Chief Justice of Nigeria. On the foreign front, cholera spreads as Sudan grapples with rains and displacement. Good evening and welcome to the news update on Trust Television. I am Aisha Salihu. Thank you so much for joining us, and we begin with matters of security, where 4 farmers have been killed by suspected Boko Haram ISWAP terrorists in the border community of Jigawa, Gwoza local government area, Borno State. The attack occurred on Thursday between 12 and 1 p.m. while the farmers were working in their fields. This incident follows a previous attack nearly 2 months ago that resulted in over 30 deaths in Gwoza town. Jigawa, located near the Mandara Mountains and bordering Cameroon, is known for its proximity to terrorist hideouts. Bukar Aji, the councillor of Jemini Ward, and Yakubu Ali, chairman of the Jigawa Community Association, confirmed the incident by phone. The divisional police officer of Gwoza was initially unaware of the attack but promised to investigate. He suggested the possibility that the attack might have originated from Jigawa in Cameroon, noting recent similar incidents across the border that might have been confused with Nigerian Jigawa. Gwoza was previously held by terrorists in 2014 before being recaptured by Nigerian troops. Still on security matters, gunmen on Thursday killed 4 people and abducted several others in Tura community of Malumfashi local government area of Katsina State. The suspected bandits, riding on motorcycles and armed with dangerous weapons, attacked Tura village and dispossessed residents of monies, food items and other valuables. The suspected bandits also proceeded to Lambun Kyota in Malumfashi town, where they rustled dozens of cows and other domestic animals. Reports say throughout the duration of the attacks in Tura village and Lambun Kyota in Malumfashi town, there was no security intervention despite several distress calls by residents. In another development, bandits on Thursday night abducted the father of Shuaibu Wakili, a member of the State House of Assembly representing Kafur, at his village in Kafur local government area of the state. The police command in the state is yet to issue a statement on the incidents. The Minister of State for Defense, Bello Matawale, has condemned the murder of Isa Bawa, the district head of Gatawa in Sokoto State, calling it a heinous and senseless act. In a statement by the Ministry's Director of Information, Henshaw Ogubike, Matawale directed the Chief of Defense Staff, General Christopher Musa, to pursue the killers. The 74-year-old monarch was abducted in July, and his body was discovered after a ransom delivery. The minister emphasized that security is a priority for President Bola Tinubu, assuring that the armed forces will exhaust all efforts to bring the perpetrators to justice. In Guri local government area of Jigawa, a 40-year-old woman committed suicide by setting herself on fire after being divorced by her husband. The incident, confirmed by Police Public Relations Officer DSP Lawan Shisu, occurred in Garim Malam village. Shisu reported that the woman, who had been struggling with depression following her divorce, doused herself in petrol and ignited the flames on the village outskirts. The Commissioner of Police, Ahmadu Abdullahi, urged individuals to seek divine guidance and consult elders on complex personal issues to prevent such tragedies. A high-capacity bus rapid transit vehicle overturned in the dedicated BRT lane at Iyana Ipaja, Lagos, injuring 10 passengers. The accident occurred shortly after the bus left the BRT park at Iyana-Ipaja. According to the Lagos State Traffic Management Authority, the bus collided with an abandoned pedestrian bridge foot immediately after the Iyana-Ipaja bridge, causing it to tip over. All 10 injured passengers have received medical attention. Last mile officials responded quickly to manage the situation and ensured the victims' care. The accident has led to significant traffic disruptions in the area, with efforts underway to clear the lane and restore normal traffic flow. Motorists and commuters are advised to exercise caution and adhere to traffic directives while the authorities resolve the situation. Still in the southwestern part of the country and to another sad development, the Ogun State Traffic Compliance and Enforcement Agency has confirmed the death of 4 persons during an accident in Abeokuta, Ogun State. A statement issued by the Public Relations Officer of the government-owned agency, Babatunde Akimbiyi in Abeokuta, said the sad incident occurred when a truck rammed into the motorcycles and their passengers. While 4 persons were declared dead in the accident, 1 person was said to have sustained injury. He attributed the cause of the accident to a mechanical fault, which resulted in a brake failure. The truck then rammed into the motorcycles in the Enugada area of Lafenwa in the state capital, killing 4 persons on the spot. And to judicial matters, Justice Kudirat Kekereekun has been sworn in as the acting Chief Justice of Nigeria, becoming the 2nd female Supreme Court Justice to serve in the position in the country's history. She was sworn in on Friday by President Bola Tinubu, who encouraged her to defend the judiciary's independence and always promote the cause of justice. The president, who returned from France to perform the swearing-in, is also challenging the acting CJN to strengthen mechanisms for integrity, discipline, and transparency in the judicial sector while pursuing other reforms to sustain public confidence in the judiciary. The acting Chief Justice of Nigeria, for her part, challenged all members of the society to have faith in the system and contribute individually to the improvement in the judiciary.
It brings about, a time that we all need to continue to ensure that our democracy understands and appreciates the clear separation of power, and for everyone understanding and knowing fully well that, yes, they are independent, but we all need each other, at various verticals to ensure that it all fits in, appropriately.
That I will be faithful and bear true allegiance to the Federal Republic of. We will take the judiciary to higher heights. The reputation that it has, we will improve it. We'll make sure that people have more confidence in the judiciary. And I believe that it's not a one-man job. We all have to be on board. And because we all see where the areas are that need improvement, I believe that there will be cooperation, because we all want to see a better judiciary.
The Supreme Court has affirmed the re-election of Senator Doye Diri as the governor of Bayelsa State after dismissing the appeal of Tumipre Silva, candidate of the All Progressives Congress in the November 11, 2023 off-cycle election. A 5-member panel of the Apex Court, headed by Justice Lawal Garba, on Friday affirmed the Court of Appeal's decision of July 15, which deemed Silva's appeal as an abuse of court process for filing 2 notices of appeal. Citing a section of the 1999 Constitution, the Apex Court panel held that the APC governorship candidate has only one right to appeal the judgment of the tribunal and not multiple appeals. The court therefore faulted the APC governorship candidate, who filed 2 notices of appeal to the appellate court. In a unanimous judgment, the appeal dismissed by the Supreme Court for lacking merit. The Independent National Electoral Commission had declared that Governor Toye Diri of the PDP garnered a total of 175,196 votes to defeat his closest rival, Timipre Silva of the APC, who polled 110,108 votes. The Central Bank of Nigeria is currently embroiled in multiple court cases following the recent dismissal of over 200 staff members as part of a reorganization by President Bola Tinubu's administration. More than 100 lawsuits have been filed by the former employees, challenging their terminations and seeking compensation for their entitlements. On May 24, 2024, CBN issued termination notices to these staff members under a reorganization letter. Lead counsel for the affected staff, Ola Olanikpekun, SAN, stated that the lawsuits were filed to uphold the workers' rights to a fair hearing. The claims, totaling hundreds of millions in damages, include demands for unpaid salaries, allowances, and other benefits. Olanikpekun also requested 30 million naira for litigation costs and 21% annual interest on any awarded sums from the date of judgment until fully paid. The legal action, supported by a detailed affidavit, was initiated on August 22, 2024. The Nigerian Education Loan Fund has received 50 billion naira from the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, as announced on Friday. This transfer aligns with President Bola Tinubu's directive from August 4, 2024, aimed at bolstering the student loan program. NELFund's head of corporate communications, Osheyemi Oluwatuyi, expressed satisfaction with the additional funds, acknowledging Tinubu's commitment to education and support for vulnerable populations. The fund also thanked EFCC Chairman Olanikpekun Olukoyede for facilitating the transfer. This move supports Tinubu's flagship education initiative, reinforcing the student loan scheme's capacity to assist those in need. You're watching the news update, coming to you live from Trust Television studios in the nation's capital. Still to come. Kano youth explore skills acquisition amid high unemployment. We'll bring you this and more after the break. Don't go away. Welcome back. Let's have a recap of some of our top stories. We told you that 4 farmers killed in fresh attack on Borno community. Also, many injured as fully loaded BRT bus tumbles in Lagos State. Moving to other stories. A Nigerian inventor from Ogun State, Adeleye Abimbola, has alleged that the European Patent Office has denied him and Nigeria billions of euros in compensation for his invention. In an interview in Abeokuta, Abimbola revealed that the EPO illegally took control of his intellectual property while he was securing a patent and mass-produced his invention without crediting him as a rightful owner. Abimbola highlighted the benefits of his invention for Nigeria and Africa, emphasizing its potential to address climate change and create thousands of jobs. Meanwhile, concerned citizens and human rights groups have condemned the alleged EPO's actions as dubious and corrupt.
That's not going to bring the matter to them again. Why? They are using power. Because they are stronger than me. Because I have no power to fight them. And it is very clear by their documents, they have hijacked and stolen my property, and stolen Nigeria's property. And I'm trying to collect it from them. Decide to not come to them again. That's bullying. They are trying to use power and whatever you are bullying. So I'm asking for help. Organization and thank God for Kawi that have decided to to assist in this matter. And this matter is not only my matter. This invention is to benefit every Nigerian. They have stolen our property.
He was encouraged by Buhari. But unfortunately, people do not allow it. Do not allow our papers to go to Buhari. Since the time Buhari being here 5 years ago, towards the end of his term, no single paper of crime got his office. So my dear brothers, we are fighting for the infringement of people.
Over the years, tailoring and fashion design have been among the most important trades in northern Nigeria, generating hundreds and thousands of jobs for youth across the region. But in recent times, many youth have not come forward to learn this all-important trade, begging the question, why? Trust TV's correspondent Idris Jibrin visited one of the fashion designers in Kano who trains youth for free and sent in this report.
For over 3 decades, Sunday Bashir has been involved in fashion designing in the Sabongari area of Kano State. He has been training young men and women to become self-reliant in the areas of tailoring and fashion design.
So many youth, they want it where they can just grab money now and then than spending a year or so in acquiring this training, because so many families now are finding it difficult to feed, and therefore the youth want any meager job they can do to get money than wasting time taking a long training due to the present economic situation in the country.
According to Sunday Bashir, his desire to train these young people in Kano was born out of the need to provide jobs for the state's teeming youth and in return discourage criminal activities among young people.
Many years ago, I discovered that a lot of youth, after secondary school and even university, there is no employment for them. So I decided to establish Sotec Foundation, an NGO that is into training of youth in fashion designing, interior decoration, and event planning. And since then, a lot of youth has been coming and offering a free training program with the foundation.
Usman Ahmad is one of the young people who has benefited from this training. He says he is now a full-time fashion designer and has used the skill to fund his education and also assist his parents.
Alhamdulillah, lokacin da na zo nan zai kai kamar.
You see, this fashion design training has done everything for me. When I came here, I actually do not know anything about fashion design, but I was able to learn a lot, and today I'm a full-time fashion designer, and I'm using it to fund my education and also to assist my parents.
I started learning work in this foundation since 2019. So I graduated 2020 February. So far I've learned how to sew senator suits, trouser, shirts, and others apart from suits.
Although Bashir has so far trained over 200 people in Kano, he lacks support from government and other relevant authorities to continue sustaining the venture.
There are instances where I have solicited for government support in this training, visited like the Directorate of Employment, like Guardian and Counseling Board. Many years ago, I visited these places to solicit for trainees from them, but it was not forthcoming.
With the support from government and active participation of the youth, Sunday Bashir believes that he has the capacity to change the lives of many in Kano State. Idris Jibrin, Trust TV News, Kano.
No fewer than 1,000 women from Jigawa State have received financial support under the Renewed Hope initiative spearheaded by Nigeria's First Lady, Oluremi Tinubu. The support is aimed at boosting their businesses and, by implication, their living conditions. The report.
The initiative, which is managed at the state level by Hadiza Umar Namadi, wife of the Jigawa State Governor, provided each beneficiary with a grant of 50,000 naira to help boost and sustain local businesses amid the economic challenges many are facing. Governor Namadi's wife explained that the focus on women as the primary beneficiaries was intentional acknowledging their significant role as the majority of voters and their disproportionate burden from the recent fuel subsidy removal.
The whole idea of Renewed Hope Initiative, petty traders, women economic empowerment is that in order for us, especially the First Lady, Federal Republic of Nigeria, Distinguished Senator Oluremi Bola Ahmed Tinubu, for us to give a cushioning effect of the fuel subsidy removal on women, and also to give them a room for them to prosper in their businesses.
As we all know, the government of Jigawa State, under the leadership of Malam Umar Namadi, has various interventions, achievements that will be mentioned here that affect the life of the vulnerable women in the society. Just recently, 12,600 women are going to benefit very soon from empowerment program. The Women's Center in Jigawa State is now as a renewed hope intervention under the leadership of Hajiya Hadiza Umar Namadi.
The Renew Hope Initiative, chaired by Senator Oluremi Tinubu and coordinated in Jigawa by Hadiza Umar Namadi, promises continued support for women in the state. 3 women chosen from each of the 287 political wards across the 27 local government areas of Jigawa State benefited from the grant.
And in business, the 650,000 barrel per day Dangote refinery is currently undergoing test runs for petrol production, with full operations expected by mid-September, according to a report from industry monitor IIR Energy cited by Reuters. Although the $20 billion refinery built by Aliko Dangote has so far only produced diesel and other distillate fuels. It had initially planned to begin petrol deliveries in May, later revising the timeline to July. IIR Energy noted that further delays are possible. Once fully operational, the refinery is expected to significantly impact the Europe to Africa fuel trade and reduce Nigeria's dependency on imported refined products. Additionally, the federal government has announced that crude oil sales to Dangote Refinery and other local refineries will commence on October 1, 2024, following an agreement with the refinery for the rollout of petrol in September. And away from Nigeria, for the second consecutive year, Sudan is in the grip of a cholera outbreak that has left at least 28 people dead in the last month as rains fall in areas cramped with those fleeing the country's 16-month-old war. Since July 22, when the current wave began, 658 cases of cholera have been recorded across 5 states. World Health Organization Country Director Shibley Sahabani in Port Sudan. With much of the country's health infrastructure collapsed or destroyed and staffing thinned by displacement, 4.3% of cases have resulted in death, a high rate compared to other outbreaks, Sabani said. Some 200,000 are at high risk of falling ill, he added. The war between the army and the paramilitary rapid support forces has created one of the world's largest humanitarian crises and displaced more than 10 million people inside Sudan and beyond its borders. The country is dealing with a total of 5 concurrent disease outbreaks, including dengue fever and measles. And finally, in sports, Nigeria's women under-19 cricket team, otherwise known as the Junior Female Yellow Greens, are having an extended time to prepare for their upcoming 2025 under-19 T20 World Cup qualifiers, following the rearrangement of the tournament in Kigali, Rwanda. The tournament is the second edition and will be played from January 8 to February 2, 2025 in Malaysia, featuring 16 teams. Nigeria was initially billed to play in a two-group tournament of 7 teams each, but the late inclusion of Zimbabwe resulted in the withdrawal of the top 4 sides from the series to form another division. By their rankings, junior female Yellow Greens are now pitted in Division 1 of the Africa qualifiers, which got underway in Rwanda on Wednesday, with 7 countries facing one another in a single round-robin format in Division 2. Nigeria, Namibia, Rwanda, Tanzania, Uganda, and Zimbabwe make up the strong field for Division 1, which will be played from September 23 to 29 in Kigali, Rwanda. They will be joined by the top 2 teams from the second division for the final tournament. The winner of the Division 1 qualifier will pick Africa's second ticket to the tournament in Malaysia. They will join hosts of the previous edition, South Africa, New Zealand, and new entrants Samoa in Group C of the World Cup finals. And on that note, we've come to the end of the news update on Trust Television at this hour. Do not forget, you can always follow us across all of our social media platforms and also join our YouTube live stream for more news, programs, and documentaries. I am Aisha Salihu. Thank you so much for watching. Join us again